Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. And I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about something. I'm talking about a word that is, I believe, really real powerful. But in my personal opinion, I had to sit on this topic for a couple of days. I've been real quiet making stuff on YouTube because I've been really thinking a lot about talking about these dogs. In reality, this is probably going to be my last video where I just talk about specific dogs because straight up, I don't want to be like known in the public's view, in the public's eye, and my future, what I can see and would see myself as being as someone that's like a dog trainer. It's like someone that's really good at working with dogs. To me, I don't know, hate on what other people do and no care what other people do on this planet. But for me, that's so minimal. That's not anything about what I am as a human being. To just talk about dogs and I want to be known as the best dog trainer, or the best dog understanding, the best dog information to be able to give out to people. That's just not what I'm about. And in reality, I've been talking about these dogs because I've been seeing that people are struggling. And seeing the struggle that people have is what convinced me to like kind of put in my brain of, I do need to talk about this, because if you're struggling with the dog, you're struggling with the main thing that I'm going to continue to keep on talking about. It's not the last of the videos that I'm going to be doing, but it's the last of the videos of saying, this is how to put a leash on a dog. This is how to get your dog to get better. It's just, if you're not understanding that yet, how to be able to have a nice animal, I got to work more into communicating my message more in a completely different way. Because the one word that I want to talk about today is, this is going to be a challenging word for a lot of people. This is a challenging word for me. And the word is responsible. And you can use that word in many different aspects of how to be a responsible person. Because I'm going to straight up say something right now that I'm just going to say something right now. I'm not going to do these disclaimers anymore. I know for 100% fact that I'm going to get into some people's feelings and people aren't going to appreciate what I have to say. And I just have to say it because it has to be said. We can't just keep dancing around some things anymore. And I just noticed that even like a lot of the guys, and mainly the guys that I would listen to on the YouTube, they're always dancing today. No longer just straight up speaking anymore. And that's I don't know, but that's just not what being responsible is all about. One day I was a boy. I did a lot of things like a boy. I wanted everything. I wanted anything. And being a boy, and especially in this country, the United States of America, we're always force-fed this concept and this idea that we could have and do and be whatever we want. When I was a boy, that was my life. If I wanted that, I'm gonna get it. If I want this, I'm gonna get it. I'll put myself in danger even to get things. I put myself in a jam to get things, to be able to have stuff because I wanted it. And it's my right to be able to get and have what I want. And then I started to get older, and I started to become what I'm gonna say as a man on this planet, understand that you have to be responsible with what you're getting and what you're doing. You can't just get and have whatever you want because you want it. That's not the responsible thing to do. You don't just, because things I'm going to talk about today is going to be these dogs for the last thing. Because this is where I believe that most of us are struggling the most when it comes down to a simple animal that you have. Because you're not responsible. And responsible not being that you're not a good caretaker. But in most cases, for the folks that are struggling with their dog the most right now, it's because you weren't responsible with picking the right animal that you're actually needing inside of your home. You picked an animal that is just, I like how it looks because you feel good. That's the little boy and that's the little girl that's in us. I want it just because. As opposed to being a responsible person, understanding that that animal has needs. And if you aren't able to supply that animal with the needs that it needs, you are a very, very irresponsible person on this planet. And that's a core fundamental thing that I think that we need to really start to focus on more than how to get my dog leash trained. You don't need to leash train a dog that's in its prime doing what it needs to do. You need to just be with the dog, hang out with the dog. A dog is going to function. But no, when you are an irresponsible person, get a dog that's shouldn't be in the environment that it's in, you need an e-collar for it. You need a prong collar for it. You need get me on a slip leash. I don't use my leash to communicate effectively. Those are the two tools that in people's minds are perceived as, I have to use this to try to convince my dog to do something that I don't want it to do, and I needed to do this over here instead. You need that stuff when you're a very irresponsible person and choose and get and buy and purchase an animal that you shouldn't be around, that shouldn't be around you, that shouldn't be around your children. It's like a little boy syndrome that's going on in there. It's like, I want the biggest, the baddest dog. Be a man and be responsible, and be a man and be responsible and be able to show others how to be able to be responsible, so that I don't need to punish, abuse, just destroy things around me to get stuff to look good. I could be kind to things around me because I'm responsible with understanding and getting what it is that I need. It's like something that used to be huge when I was younger. I don't know what it is. That people would be very irresponsible and getting a simple vehicle or the wrong one. You go out there and buy you a two-door car with like no back seat, and then you have two babies and one on the way. You're like, oh, you like my car? It's real nice. Oh, what's a good car to use today? Oh my goodness, the big one now. It's like I got me a Scat Pack. I got what is it, a Challenger or a Camaro? No, it's the Challenger. The Challenger? I don't know. I'm getting confused with cars today because I just don't care anymore. I used to care so much. But you say I'm gonna go get this car and I'm gonna get it even though I got kids, I got this, I got work that I need to figure out how to do. But you're gonna get that car because of what it looks like, not being responsible, knowing that it's not gonna actually be able to give me what I need when I need to get done. It's gonna be even more of a hassle, but you're gonna deal with that hassle because you like the way it looks. It makes people look at you a way. It makes people think of you a certain way. As opposed to the main thing that I want to say there is it makes the other little children, the little boys, the little girls look at you a way. Not the adults, not the grown-up men and women that are on this planet. They don't look at you as being good or great or anything. They just look at you as like, look at that just selfishness that's going on there. Not caring about anything else around, but just how you look. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of, this is where I'm going to say there's a big thing that I'm just going to have to start to be the one to bring it back again. What I've seen a lot of guys that really just upgraded my life of not dancing around these topics. Because today it's like no one wants to grow up and be a man or a woman anymore. We just want to be little girls and boys. We want to just be in our feelings and we could just dance around and I could just have what I want and I could just protest enough and I get what I want. That's not life. That's childish. But that's what we're living today. And the more that I just, even not just wanting to make videos, but in reality, what I'm saying right now isn't going to be said because of the other stuff that's going on in our world right now. And other stuff is childish. It's games. It's like we got two little boys on stage that are trying to like battle towards each other to try to get everyone to look at them. And they're doing so good because why? We as a people are childish. We're little boys that are looking at this is like cheering it on like, yeah, that's my savior. That's my savior. They're going to be able to help me. They're going to fix me. They're going to do something for me. As opposed to realizing, no, maybe I need to be a little more responsible and stand up and get and handle what I need to handle and actually make sure that things are going to be of a benefit. Who cares what it looks like? It's going to be a benefit to you in your life and actually be able to get something done for you. That's just, unfortunately, what's not going on today. You know, I hear so much of this people are like getting confused with like dating and stuff today, getting married and guys don't want to do it. Yeah, because there's no men no more. They're all boys at this point that just give me quick, fast, move on and just jump to the next, jump to the next, jump to the next because they're not being responsible. They're not standing up and saying, this is what I need to do. This is what I have to take care of. They're just trying to completely run away from it and just thinking that, oh, I'll get there later. And then what happens? It's not going to come later. You're not just going to grow up one day. It just happens. That doesn't happen to anything on this planet. And for some reason, some people think that these animals also work that way. You know, it's a young dog. One day it's just going to snap out of this. It's going to be good to go. That's not the way this world works. But somehow that's being force fed to us. That everything is chaos. But no, if we just get this one person to lead us, then we'll be good. It doesn't work that way. It works the way that we need to all collectively work together as responsible adults to be able to get things to actually happen, be able to actually communicate effectively towards each other, to be able to actually get stuff done without it having to be oh, you don't agree with me, so you just want to go on and try to kill people. But that's what we do. And then the people that are, I mean, it's sad to me. It's sad to me to see how, like, going into these, more of these inner cities where there's just all this chaos and all this crime going on, that you guys are, mainly guys, but girls as well in there, you boys, you get quick to anger like that. Someone calls you out of your name, someone says, oh, look at you, and you're ready to fight. That's not a man. That's a childish little boy. That's just, oh, my feelings, I just got to lash out. A man is going to sit and assess the situation and figure out, what do I need to do here? Are you actually putting me in danger? Or are you just calling me a name, for instance? Are you actually trying to damage me, hurt me, like physically get me to the point? Even if they're trying to slander your name, are they doing it in a way that you need to respond instantly? And more likely, 99.99% of the time, no. You need to just sit down and shut up. Because that's what a man's going to do. He's not going to be quick to just, I got to lash out and go do something. They're going to sit down and just say, I'm not involved in that. I don't need to be a part of that. But that's what's going on, like, collectively today. One person speaks and it's like everyone just got to stand up and just, oh my goodness, look at that. This. It's just wild. It's maddening to me on how I'm just looking around and seeing just the children of this world today. No longer are we wanting to be adults anymore. Like that's no good. And I can just see that in what we do and even just simply what we purchase, what we buy, what we have. We got all these people out here that are just, this is why for me, I just do not struggle with a simple, this is why I can't do no more with dogs, because in my life, in my world, once I just got the revelation of Get the dang treats away. Stop worrying about all the toys and stuff. Stop worrying about all the affection and praise and stuff. Stop worrying about using my leash to even try to communicate to the dog. I just realized with mine, I'm just done. Like I understand what I need with mine because I have a need and a purpose and a design for every single one. They're not just around. They're not, I didn't just like, ooh, I really like the way that one looks, so I'm gonna get that dog. No, I was like, I really need a dog to this. And I got the dog. And my life is done. I don't have anything, nothing complicated. I'm already at this point, 5, 6, I think it's 6 months in on this dog here, that all I do is I take her for runs. But I'm already just, I could communicate. She's deep in chasing chicken, and we're all done with that. I don't even care. I'm done. I figured it out because someone gave me that information. Robert gave me that information on how to be able to actually get in tune with my dogs in a higher level. And it got away from, in reality, for me, just having a good understanding of the childishness. The child is, I want this because the way it looks, as opposed to just realizing what it does. And granted, if you get a dog because of the way it looks, and you need to understand how to get that dog its environment that it needs, its livelihood that it needs, then yeah, you will be a responsible animal owner. But that's not what we do. We get ourselves an animal and we put it in an environment that it shouldn't be. And that's just the childishness that I see going on. And that's just going on like crazy today on this YouTube. We're just so quick to like try to pay attention to this person. Oh, they got a dog, and they're just quick to just correct and punish the dog. And even explaining the dog doing something that's in its genetic DNA to want to do. And it's like, no, I don't want it to do that because I have it now. And it's over here now, so I don't want it to chase no more. I don't want it to dig no more. I don't want it to bark no more. I don't want it to guard no more. You want to strip away, that is childish. And for some reason, we like seeing it for some reason. Because it gives us this sense of like superiority. Like I'm in control of something. I can get things to move. I can get things to react. That's childish. A man on this planet is going to want to build up everything that it's around. That's what I do with my animals even. I want to see them and I want to build them up to be better, more independent, more strong, more stable, more sound, more confidence. But that's not what we're doing because we want something because of how it looks, and then we get it, and then we end up destroying everything around us. All we simply, to the vehicles that we drive, to the houses that we buy, to the locations that we live, to the work that we do, to the things that we even do to our own selves. We destroy our own selves. This is simply put why me, like for the remainder of my life, no one will ever see my body because I have tattoos on my body that I'm ashamed of today because I was a little boy that decided to do something that was just destructive to me. This I got to deal with for the rest of my life, and I did something so destructive to it. So the next person, you're like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, you don't care because you're not responsible is what I want to say. A responsible human being is going to do the absolute best that they can to take care of what they have. They're going to do the best at it. Why I'm running more, working out more, eating better more, because I started getting overweight. I started getting out of hand. I'm going to be responsible and say, I'm going to take care of this. I'm not going to allow the doctor's system and this system to try to take care. I'm going to do what I need to take care of it. I'm going to do whatever I can to figure out how to be able to better myself. That's all that I've been doing since the day that I got out of the military. That you're messed up, buddy. You're going to be broken. And I'm like, I got to work on that to figure this out. This is what's led me down this path of figuring out how to be able to just not only just help my own self, but realize the information that's been able to help me to help other people out. Because we're all struggling. And the main thing that I'm going to say is I think that most of us are struggling because we're not responsible with what it is that we do. We just jump into stuff based on, oh, I feel this way, as opposed to just knowing that, is that actually going to benefit you? Is that actually something that you need? And we just jump into it. And it comes down to simply as, I've passed so many dogs along the side of the road. I've having to give up on so many dogs that came into my possession, knowing that I feel I want it, but I have to be responsible and say, no, I can't do this. I can't, that's not responsible of me to just take this animal just because of the feeling that I have right now. I need to make sure that I'm going to be able to be well equipped to be able to take care of this animal. These animals are 15 years here. And we're looking at it like, oh, it's just a little thing. And then when it's not doing what you want, you become more irresponsible and just start to abuse the dog to get it to do what you're looking for. And you just jumping around and you start getting addicted to the abuse. And that's the childish things that we're just doing. That we're not taking ownership, we're not taking responsibility in our lives. That we're trying to get it and push it to somewhere else. It's in reality, no one's responsibility to help me work with these dogs. It's my responsibility. It's my responsibility to figure it out. It's my responsibility to get the skills needed and required. It's my responsibility to get the education to figure out how to be able to get them to get in a good place. It's not someone else's responsibility. But yet that's what we're doing today. That's why dog training is huge today, because we want someone else to take the responsibility. I don't know what I'm doing. Please get it in super soldier mode and give it back to me. And give me a button to be able to push that. If it's not doing what I needed to do, that I could get it back in order again. That's not being responsible. It's not being responsible at all. At all. You know, granted, you got a vehicle you need. Yeah, you go take it someone that knows how to work on the vehicle. But we're talking about something of a relationship here. That we're not being responsible and standing up to the plate and doing what it is that we need to. If you're anxious, you're depressed, you're nervous, you're worried, you're suicidal right now, you need to work on that. Your dog is just showing you all of the problems that are going on with you. And you're not just going to send it off and find this next training program. No, you need to fix yourself. You need to be responsible and look at yourself to say, hey, you know, my dog, the number one thing that I see today that is just mind-blowing is my dog is anxious. My dog is nervous. My dog is weary. And when I see that, I see an anxious, weary, depressed, sad, broke down, lonely human being. And the dog is just that. And until we just understand how to be able to take the responsibility and understand how to put that on ourselves to fix ourselves, you're going to only keep watching the dog just keep magnifying into that. Just keep getting worse and worse and worse. That's how I got this dog, this Dalmatian. She's taking the longest to like convert to me, I guess I'll say. She was anxious. She had all kinds of issues from where she came from. And then she came to me. And I'm just not that way. I'm just getting stuff done, doing stuff, and I'm just hooting, hollering, making stuff happen. And I got what I need, and I do what I say I got to get done, and I make it happen. Because that's what happens when you grow up. I don't want to have to do it, but I do it because I have no choice. I have to be a responsible human being. And she's already just, that's how I've been able to just really calm down out here with everything I do with her. Because she's no longer in this, do I need to be nervous? She's just like, we're good. Everything's fine. And I just seen that across. This happens in days when I take people's dogs. Hers is taking me months. Took me months. Who knows? She's just different. I don't know. It's a different dog. Each breed, they're going to say, are all different for sure. But I take other people's dogs in 2, 3, 4 days. They're just like, they're chill. They're off leash out here hanging out, meeting dogs. Used to be barking at them all the time. Used to be crazy. Used to be trying to bite people. And even try to bite me. I put it in the crate. I take it out and I say, we're done. We're not doing that. And the dog's like, okay, I can deal with you. And it's already out here instantly good to go. Because I took all that pressure off. I took all that stress away. I gave the dog an oasis to be in. And it's not the land. It's the person that's maintaining that land. And that's why certain people that enjoy animals, where do they live? On land, because they want more of them. Because they are able to take care of them. Because they know how to be able to keep the peace and the harmony with everything. They know how to get it. It's not work. It's just living. That's me with my dogs, with every animal I have. It's not work. We're just living together. We're just hanging out. I'm just chill. Because mainly, I was responsible with getting the animals that I needed. Just like now, I don't have to do no work getting my baby chicks back in coop. Oreo over there getting stuff done. He's like, I got you. And now if I would have got I don't know what dog would get. Even just like a classic German Shepherd of today. I'd be butting heads with that dog like every day to try to convince it to get what I need to get done. And that's not responsible of me trying to get something because of what it looks like, because of how big it is, because of how strong it is, because of what it's known as to us. I want to get a dog like that. No, I'm going to get a dog that I need to be able to get stuff done, to be able to make stuff be simpler in my life. So I don't have to work. I don't have to work so hard. I could just, hey man, go handle that. Okay, cool. And he enjoys it. This dog's like, man, you can let me do what I want to be able to do every single day. Like, cool, man, awesome. That's great. And I'm not fighting with the dog. I don't need to correct my dog. I don't need to holler at my dog. I don't need to put a prong on my dog. I don't need a knee collar on my dog. I don't need nothing on my dog because it's doing what it needs to do. And it's just, that's the main thing that I believe that we're struggling with is that one word of not even worrying about patience, not even worrying about peace, not worrying about nothing, but understanding just the simple word of being responsible. It's just not what we are anymore. It's not what we as humanity represent. We represent wishy-washy. In 1 minute, the next, out, not the next minute. You know, I don't feel good right now, so I'm not going to do it. So we're not getting done what we need to get done because we're not being responsible. We're not being responsible with the stuff that we're taking care of. That we're trying to push it off to someone else to take care of it. And then we blame someone else because it didn't get done the way that you wanted it to get done. Because in reality, nothing is going to get done the way that you want it to get done until you just get it done yourself. Period. But we want to push it off everywhere else, that everyone else is the problem, and you're just so perfect. No, be responsible and stand up and take ownership for the mess that's in your life right now. You're the problem with the mess. If everything around you is mess, there's one thing in the middle of that mess. If every single relationship that you're a part of, everything is just not there, you are that one source of mess. You're the mess. It took me a long time to realize that in my own life, that I'm the mess. I'm the mess. I'm the one that's in the middle of everything that's going on around. And if I'm trying to fix everything around me and blame everything around me and not take responsibility for everything around me, I'm going to only continue to keep watching that keep getting worse and worse and worse. It's never, that's a word I'll use in never, time I'll use never. It'll never get better until I take the accountability and responsibility of my own self. Understand what I need to get done, what I need to do, what I need to handle, what I need to get out of my feelings with and just get done and make it happen. And who cares? Who cares what you're feeling and thinking? You got to get some stuff done. It just is what it is. And this may be a little slightly different for a woman over a man, but at the same time, how we are today, no, it's no longer any different. If you're a nervous woman and doing stuff, you got to figure out and do something that you got to do to be able to get yourself out of that state. I don't care if men have been beating you down your whole life. Great. That's not how it is anymore. At least where I live and anywhere that lives like us. There are still some countries that are sketchy, but you wouldn't be able to listen to me in those countries anyway, so I'm not too nervous about that. You got to be able to just stand up and just say, I'm not going to allow you to just use me and abuse me. You need to be responsible and understand that what's going on is what you're allowing to be able to happen. Especially, oh my goodness, I could state that as a fact here in the United States of America. You do not have to be in the situation that you are in if you do not want to be there. You're there because you want to be there. You're taking care of doing what you want because you want to do it. No one put it upon you. You are doing it. Unless you're a prisoner. But even if you are a prisoner, you did something to put yourself in that scenario. We no longer live in the 1600s. It's the 20th and 24 of how wild things are today. That if you are where you are, if you are anxious, frustrated, nervous, worried, you're doing that yourself. You're putting that on yourself right now. No one else is doing that to you. And I don't care what nobody has to say about that. No one has to say. Someone can say, oh, my parents this. Oh, why are you still at your parents' house? Oh, my husband this. Why are you still with your husband? Oh, my kids this. Why are you still worried about the kids? You put that on yourself. You're putting yourself in that situation. You're not taking responsibility for what's going on in your world. And you want everyone else to just take care of it for you. And it's just not going to happen. This is where, for me, I just see that 99% of people even today with dogs are struggling because you weren't a responsible human being to get the animal that is actually going to be able to work for you in your life. You got what looks cool. You got what got in your feelings to make you feel a certain way, as opposed to just knowing that you need to get something that is going to actually be able to work for you, that's going to get stuff done for you, that's going to be able to help you. And that's just not what people are doing. And one thing that I'm going to say is more than likely, a dog that is reactive outside but not inside, it's because, in my opinion, just my opinion and my faith of understanding this world, is because you need to get up and get out and get something done. You need to do something. You're overweight right now. Your dog's saying, let's go for a walk. You need to do it over and over and over and over and take responsibility, get up and get it done and be consistent and make it happen. Your dog is saying, let's go do something. We got to go do something. You got all this energy. I got to get it out. But then when you get at home, well, we're just lazy. Let's just sit down and watch TV and eat ice cream and eat chips all day. And the dog is saying, we got to do something. We got to get something done. And the more that you're not getting up and getting something done, the more that you're just sitting there in absolute agony. And that's the main thing, is get up and take responsibility for what's going on. Your dog is reactive because of what you're doing to the dog, period, simple. If you would get up and do something, your dog would no longer be reactive. I'm going to guarantee you that. If you would just get up and do it over and over and over and get out of your feelings and what someone says and what someone thinks and how people look at you and how people view you, your dog is barking, what's someone going to say? You get up and you get it done. And then later on, you're going to get the same haters because they're going to say, oh, wow, it looks nice now. And it's the cycle of life. But being a responsible adult on this land, you get up and you make it happen, you get it done, and who cares what someone thinks? And get out of your feelings. You got some stuff that you absolutely have to do. You can't just push it off. You can't just find the next video to be able to make my life get better. That's not going to get you anywhere. And that's what's going on, unfortunately, with so many people right now. That next video, that's the one that's going to be able to get me good. No, that next video that you decide that you watched, you like it, and it's making you feel good, and it's making you happy, you shut it off and you get up and you go do something. Take responsibility. That's what's going to get you to get better. Not the, let me look for more. Oh, this guy's going to get in the office, so now things are going to be good. No, the only thing that's going to get good is when you take action, when you get stuff done. Because all that happens is we get manipulated, man. It's not like the past 8 years have been the greatest of the best because of this president, this person in Congress, this person in Congress. No, it's a matter of what's being force-fed to you and make you think things are a way, as opposed to things are not a way. Nothing is better or worse today this entire time depending on who was around, what's going on. It's all the same mess. But the main thing that's different is what you're being force fed. Oh yeah, the numbers are up. Oh yeah, the numbers are this. If you actually take a deep dive into what these numbers actually represent, you'll see that they're lying to you. You'll see that there's fakeness. You can watch videos from 5 years ago to see that the numbers are different 5 years ago than they are today. They're changing stuff. It's not actually we're getting better. The only way that we get better is when we ourselves get up and do something and make something happen and get it done and make it happen and not have no excuses and just do it. And that's one huge lesson I learned from animals, man. They don't get a time to just I don't feel like it. No, this dog here, something out of place. He's like, let's go make it happen. Let's go. I don't care it's raining. I don't care it's snowing out. We don't even snow here often. And the days that it did, he's still out here. We got to get some stuff done. He's like, man, I gotta go make it happen. And I'm like, cool, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's what every animal out here doing. You think it's because it's raining out that the cows are like, oh, we're just not gonna eat today. We're just not gonna go. No, they're gonna go get water. They're gonna walk. They gotta do what they gotta do. You think it's because it's chilly out? The donkey is like, no, when it's pouring raining out, as it just was earlier, my donkey is standing in the middle field on extra alert, knowing that something may think that we're slipping because of the rain. So he's out there on extra duty, just standing in the middle of the rain, just getting poured on. I'm like, dude, you could go to the barn and get out of the rain. But he's like, no, I got work that I need to do. I don't care what's going on. I got to get it done to make sure that we're going to be safe, to make sure everything is going to be good for us. And that's what I learned the more I'm just staying around animals as opposed to staying around human beings. Human beings that just let you down over and over and over and over and over again because they're not able to take responsibility for their own selves. But then they're going to try to preach a message to someone of how to get better, and their stuff is a mess. They have no control, no nothing with their own stuff. You know why? Because their own stuff, they didn't take responsibility to be able to get what they need. They just got something because of what it looks like and how shiny it is, and how fast it can go, and how big and tough it is. As opposed to, what do you need this for? That's what I want more people to just really understand, more than likely, why the simple dog in your life is just showing what's going on in your world. It's showing that your world is absolute chaos, that you don't know how to take the responsible thing, do the responsible thing to be able to make sure that you're going to be able to be set up for success. You're buying the wrong vehicle because of what it looks like and what it sounds like and what people are going to think of you, as opposed to getting something that's actually going to be able to work for you. You're living in places that you can't even afford because you're worried about what someone's going to think of you. I live in they call them trailers, a mobile home. You know how many people I tell that to, and they're like, you live. Yes, I do, and I don't care because it's what I need. I don't need anything extra. I don't need anything more. All I need, and in reality, I wish it was half the size because it's just too much. I don't need anything more. I care more about getting stuff done and being able to follow through with what it is that I'm thinking up and wanting to be able to do, as opposed to what someone else is going to think of me. I don't know why, but that's a huge shift that happened to me when I realized, like, I went from boyhood to being a man, that I do not care that I need to try to show off to make somebody think anything of me. And that's the whole concept of why I still haven't shaved this beard, why I still haven't cut this hair, why I still haven't even got me a new pair of boots, even though I know, because now they no longer waterproof because the whole bottom is missing, that I just don't care, that I'll go on to this camera right now for millions around the whole entire world to be able to see me, and I just don't care. Because it works, it gets done. Well, my boots aren't working as much, but they still protect my feet enough, just enough. But that's the part that is hard, I think, for most people, because we just don't take responsibility for our own selves to just get done what we need to get done. We're so worried of what someone's going to think, what someone's going to say. And that's the last thing that we need to be doing anymore, being an adult on this planet. Thank you. Yeah, Ofi. Hi. Everybody coming in? I see. I only got to say one name and everybody comes. Like, I don't know how to explain the whole concept of dog training any more than I already have. There was a video I made that I was like, I'm going to keep trying, but then I was just like, there's no reason for me to try to keep saying the same thing for the next 30 plus years of my life, because I don't want to be known for working with dogs. That's just not who I am. They are so basic and so simple that I wouldn't want to be no million subscriber viewer, no international traveling, no nothing about no dogs. I'm on a whole, I would say, a greater different purpose than just that, because the dog is just exposing what's actually going on. The dog is just showing us in real time what's happening. And That's the main thing that that I want to be able to help people out with, is why you're not a responsible human being. Why you want to still be a boy, why you still want to be a little girl. Why don't you want to grow up? Because it's hard. It's difficult. It is hard at first. It's hard to get rid of all your fancy and flashy things and your fancy purses and fancy shoes and your fancy clothes and your fancy cars and your fancy houses. And it's hard to get rid of that. But that's what's drowning you right now because you can't actually keep up with it. But you have to keep buying this certain type of attire so that people look and view you a certain way. And you're destroying your life because you want something to look away. You're destroying your life by buying a specific dog that's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. That's thousands to keep up with it. You're taking it away from its environment that it's supposed to be in. It's destroying you because you want this image. You want people to look at you away. You're taking in 5, 6, 8, 15 dogs and trying to take care of them. And you know nothing about no dogs because you're worried about what someone is going to think of you, how people are going to view you. Or people are going to think of you as being a better person because, ooh, I take in all these dogs and do nothing with them. You know, if you're bringing in dogs, you're training them, the word I say use there, flipping them to be able to help out other people, you know, that's a business in reality. Do that. But you're bringing them in and just adding more and more chaos. You got one, it wasn't going that great. You got 2, got 8, got 20, got 50, and it's just worse and worse and worse. So someone will look at you and be like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, sister. You do the rescue work. You're a good person." You want people to validate you like that. You want to go to the homeless places to give food and do that to validate yourself, to make yourself feel a way. Oh yeah, see, I was there to show the world that I'm a good person, that I give out food. As opposed to just getting out of your feelings, getting out of your worrying about what people are viewing you as, and grow up. And know that more likely, almost 100% of people that you know right now are not going to want to talk to you the day that you grow up. And you know that more than likely. That's why you can't do it, because you're too afraid to be alone. You're too afraid to think that you're going to run into that I'm lonely stance. And that's going to happen, unfortunately, because most people that are around you are only there because of this fakeness that you put on, not the real who you really are. It's hard to be around someone that's real. It's really hard. That's why I know for 100% fact why my videos, it's hard to get pushed out, because it's hard to listen to someone that's just straight up and real. We like the fakeness because it keeps us in this we're good to go stance. We're safe. You know, I can see the fake and numb, and I got the fake, so we're okay. But when someone's straight up, it's hard to be around that, because when they're straight up, they can see your lies. It's like they can see it. They can see all of it, and you know that you start to get uncomfortable. When I talk to so many people just in person, just face to face, and I can see them get uncomfortable because they're like, wow, this guy's not lying. Like, nah, man, I'm just here. I'm a living being that is just doing what I need to do. I'm not worried about what you think of me, what you're gonna say about me behind my back. And people just, you shrivel up inside. You get so scared. You get nervous because you don't know how to, you don't even think that you could do that yourself. And that's my main thing that I need people to understand, is to wake up and get out of this fakeness that we're in. Thinking you need to have this and be this to be able to get someone to recognize you, to be able to see you. When you actually are doing what it is that you do, more people are going to see. More people see me today than ever in my life, because I just walk around like I don't care, and people are confused. Like, how do you just do that, man? That's my thing I want to be able to talk to people about. How to be able to just chill and be able to enjoy life. Because in reality, as much as all these prices going up, everything's crazy, it's weird that everything for mine is going down. Everything is getting simple. I got more meat birds. My daughter's mother talking about give me her some chicken, and I'm just like, let me go ahead and raise you up, son, so that your cost can be so low. I'm gonna raise up 2,000 pounds of chicken so the cost can be so low. Why I'm doing everything I do so my cost can get low, so I can be more simpler. But no, what everyone else is doing is I need to keep getting more and more and more, and that's why you're overboard right now. You're flooded. You can't keep up, because there's always going to be some new shiny thing that you need. You can't keep up. And I want as many people as possible to get out of that. Who cares what they think of you when they see you? Put your sweats on, put your hoodie on, put your shoes on, and go for a walk. Who cares how people are going to view you? Who cares if all the guys don't stare and lust over you no more? You don't actually want that anyways in reality. You want to just be able to be free on this planet. And the main way to be free is, who cares what someone has to think about you? Just get it done, because it's what you want to do.